Welcome to RDH Coast to Coast Break Time Power Chats for the Dental Hygienist. This podcast engages your professional growth one break at a time. Get ready for engaging discussions, valuable insights, and practical tips to boost your dental hygiene career, all packed into your well-deserved break. Tina will teach from the heart while Kim will help you bloom where you're planted. So grab your headphones, take a deep breath, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. It's time to power up your break time and elevate your dental hygiene career. Let's dive in. Okay, Kim, it's our first episode. And I love that we have decided that we wanted to talk about imposter syndrome, because I'm telling you right now, I'm having pretty major imposter syndrome with this being our first podcast, vlog, YouTube, whatever it is that this ends up being. Really should who wants to listen to us? Who wants to listen to me? And is this really, like, I don't know, who am I to do this? So I love that we're going to talk about this because and you so eloquently wrote about imposter syndrome. And can you empower me? Maybe, I don't know. I'm a little lost.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's think about it, right? We all, I think, at some point in our lives, at least I know I have, suffered with imposter syndrome. Even just if we talk about dental hygiene, when I graduated, I didn't even know what the word imposter syndrome meant back then, over 10 years ago. But looking back, that's absolutely what I was experiencing. All of a sudden, you're in school, you got your instructor sitting right next to you, someone's checking everything you do to, okay, here I am in an operatory with nobody, with a dentist that I've never even met that's now going to be coming, I happened to just walk into a temp job my first day, and now this person's coming in, and is he going to check my work? I mean, am I doing a good job? Why isn't he telling me what I need to fix or not? And then I fell down the rabbit hole of self-doubt. What am I doing? Do I know what I'm doing? I missed that feedback, that constant feedback that I was so used to in school. So I think when I started learning more about what imposter syndrome is so many years later, I realized that it's something so common in our industry.
Yeah, it is. And being able, I think the key is being able to, like, put words behind what you're feeling, right? It's that scared, that anxiety, the self-doubt that goes along with it is kind of like, oh yeah.
Yes.
Am I thinking that here I am, I'm Wonder Woman, but actually, and I don't know what Wonder Woman's alter ego is. Clark, all I can think of is Clark Kent. But it's like,
Well, it's true. And I remember saying too, I think maybe, as a whole, the hygiene community, we could be a little type A, right? We want everything to be perfect, right? Just a little. So it's, I didn't want to be wrong at anything or missing anything, that then I was so hard on myself rather than embracing those imperfections and saying, okay, I'm not perfect. I'm still learning. I was only in school for 2 years where, you only see a patient every 4 hours as opposed to an hour if you're lucky. Instead of taking that and being so hard and critical on myself, take that information and how do I do better tomorrow? Or how can I grow from what I'm learning?
Kim, I think you're so right. It is having that grace of understanding where you are on the journey, right? It doesn't matter, where you're at in your professional career. Like, we all have different phases that we go through, and going, okay, like, this is awkward because it's new, and it's okay to feel that way. And
Yes.
to allow ourselves to be new at that, and to allow ourselves to know, oh, I have training wheels on, or I am going to fall off the bike a little bit until I get get the sturdiness behind me, get that, figure out the balance. And you have to stumble across the way from there sometimes too, so you can learn.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And it's how do you move forward with those stumbles, right? Do you stay on the ground for a long time, or do you pick yourself back up and say, I got this. I'm going to keep
Right.
moving forward.
Well, I'll tell you, sometimes it's a lot easier just to curl up in a ball and just say,
It
can
is.
I be down here for a little while? And sometimes I think, I know for me, I've needed those moments where I just was like, this is hard right now. And I just need to take a moment. But I found that when I give myself only a time frame to say, okay, there's all these feels that need to be felt.
Yeah.
That I don't know, like I'm gonna give myself a day, or maybe I'm like, I'll take it the weekend and just process it all, and then go, okay, how do I bounce back? How do I bounce back? Um, and then move forward, and then start looking for people who are doing well, right? That are doing it, and I go, okay, what are they doing that I'm not doing that's helping them be successful?
And I think we can talk about dental hygiene, but what you just said can transfer into any aspect of your life, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Michelle would be proud of us.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. There's your Easter egg. Everybody's like,
Right.
who's Michelle? Well,
I know.
reach out and you'll find out.
Exactly. And it's okay to say, I can't do it alone, and reach out for
Yeah.
support and help. I think that's something that, my background of wanting to support new grads is really where it comes from, because I did stumble when I graduated, and I didn't have the support network that I wish I did at the time, or to know what I was going through was normal. So it is so important. Don't feel like this is only happening to you. What's wrong with me? But almost you want to, in turn, challenge those self-critical thoughts that you're feeling, because we all experience it. We all experience it, no matter what.
No matter what. Yeah. So Kim, do you remember when you started teaching the first time, right? Because so you practiced for 4 or 5 years before you started teaching, so you're probably feeling pretty confident with
Oh, yeah.
who you were as a hygienist, your skill sets, right? And then you're going to start teaching.
Yeah, I still apologize to my first class that I ever taught. I was like, I'm sorry, I really didn't know what I was doing back then, but I hope I made a difference in your life.
Exactly. That is exactly. I was like, one of the reasons why I have developed such a passion for teaching was because I sucked so hard when I first started. So hard. I was one of those moments of, when the students can rate you on a scale of 1 to 5. If there was anything, if you could be a 0.5 or a 0, that would have been me.
But again, I always tell myself too, is the students don't know any different at the time, right? I feel like I hope I was able to do something for them. So
Yeah. Yeah, it is there's nothing more humbling than trying to teach somebody how to do something, and then you're like, oh, bleep, shoot,
yeah,
crackers, dang it.
yeah. Or how many times did I tell a student something and then run back and double check what I just said in our instrumentation book, because I'm like, wait, I think that's right. I'm just gonna go double check over here where no one can see me.
Yeah. You're right. And then you get to the point where that feels comfortable and you're like, okay, this is good, this is good. And then somebody says, hey, would you come stand on a stage and speak to people?
Right.
And then it's like, oh gosh,
Yeah.
how does that work? I can work with my students because I know that they're learning, and I'm helping guide them through this process. And now you want me to talk to my peers? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's crazy.
I think something too that you and I both share is we have a passion for exercise and moving our body. And I think that in a time of self-doubt, to incorporate movement in your life makes such a big difference.
It
and
really
does get those endorphins going in your brain, and really can help your mindset.
I agree. So let's recap. What are the ways that we've talked about overcoming imposter syndrome? We just talked about, getting our endorphin boost, exercise.
Mm-hmm.
It was having grace with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then, acknowledging that it's okay. You're learning.
Yeah. Embrace the imperfections.
Embracing them. Yeah, that is the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for us hygienists.
Yeah, because we all want to be perfect. We all do.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm going to not embrace, I'm working on embracing my imperfections. Maybe my hair didn't curl the right way today and I'll be okay with it. Oh gosh, Kim, this is great. I love it. Okay, I think we're close to our time being up because we wanted to keep these short for everyone and just kind of listen in.
Right, a quick little power chat. You can pop us on during your lunch break, anytime, your car ride home as you are, decompressing from the day. That's also a really great time to kind of run through the pros and the cons of the day. And then if you can, leave it in the car and go home and just enjoy what you have left of the day.
Right. And for those of you listening in as we transition out, thank you for giving us grace as we work through our imposter syndromes of putting this together.
Exactly. And we appreciate you all.
All right. Until our next episode.
Exactly. Thank you for joining us on this power-packed episode of our podcast, where Tina and Kim dove into yet another current topic shaping the dental hygiene world. We really hope this chat has given you some valuable insight and sparked some awesome ideas. Before we wrap up, we want to take a moment to express our gratitude to our amazing sponsors. Without your support, we would not be able to bring these meaningful discussions to our listeners. We appreciate your commitment to the dental hygiene community and the important work you do. We would also like to extend a big thank you to our listeners. Your continued support, engagement, and feedback fuel our passion for delivering you what matters. Remember, we are here for you. Please keep sharing your feedback, suggestions, and topics you'd like us to explore in future episodes, and have an awesome day.